everybody, it's Mr. Hoff here with Classroom Composers, and in today's video lesson we're going to learn about the snare rebound stroke, and we're going to learn about the mallet stroke, and this is going to correspond with lesson 10 in the pre-method book. We're going to start with snare drum first, and the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to take our sticks completely out of our hands. We're going to let our hands fall to the side. We're just going to shake our hands out a little bit. This is going to help keep our hands relaxed, because whenever you're playing music, whether it's snare drum, mallets, or any instrument, it's important to be relaxed. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a flat surface, which is going to be this whiteboard behind me. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place my hand flat and I'm going to knock a few times. And the reason that I'm knocking a few times is because this motion of the wrist moving is going to be important for when we do our rebound stroke. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to form my matched snare drum grip. I'm going to start with the right hand, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a similar knocking motion, and I'm just going to strike the snare drum, and I'm going to let it rebound and bounce back to the original starting position. So it'll look like this. Okay, so we're going to knock it and let it come back. And we're going to do this a few times, and one more time. And now we're going to do that with our left side. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do what's called 8/8. We're going to do 8 rights and 8 lefts, and the goal is to make them as steady as possible. And switch. And switch. One more time on the left. Okay, so that's going to be your basic snare rebound stroke. Let's go ahead and move to our mallet stroke. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to let the hands fall to the side, where we're going to shake our fingers out. We're going to get ourselves nice and relaxed. What we're going to do is we're going to do that same knocking, because we're going to have that same motion. We're going to get our mallet grip all set up here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to find the note C, and we're going to start with our right hand. We're going to bring the mallet down, and it's not going to bounce as much as it will snare, but we need to have the mallet return to its original starting position. And before we make a sound, one more thing, it's important to avoid the nodes, and you want to strike in the middle of the key as much as possible, because if you hit the node, it's not really going to make a good sound. So we're going to start with C's, and we're going to start with our right hand here. We're going to do that again. We're going to return the mallet to the starting position. I'm going to hit the node, so you're going to hear what the node sounds like. Hear that?
Boo!
Not so good. Strike in the center. Same thing with the left side. Make sure it's done just as well as the other side. Now we're going to go and we're going to do both hands together. So when you do this, your right hand goes slightly above your left hand, and we're going to go 4 rights and 4 lefts. And now switch. Again. And switch. Make sure that you're practicing both of these instruments, snare drum, mallets, and you're doing it with both hands so that you develop strength and flexibility in both of your hands as you're playing.